in North Carolina, finishing up from the season, and then took off to Florida and been back at the farm, unplugged, staying out in the woods.
You did do some racing, or you went out for your brother's racing. How was that, supporting him and doing that stuff?
It was a lot of fun. It was a super late model, which neither of us have ever actually raced. And Baja Dave, a guy we met, offered Chad to race, and we were in way over our heads. So we broke the rear end Friday night in practice, had to rebuild one, a quick change. We'd never done that. We built one out of parts we had from our old race cars that Chad and I raced years ago, sledgehammers and torches, and yeah, a lot of busted knuckles because we didn't know what we were doing. So covered in grease, but had fun. Didn't do good at all. Frustrated with that, but just fun for my dad and Chad and me just to get to do that. It's been a while.
Make you glad that you're not a crew member and you're a driver?
I didn't mind the work. I just wish I knew what I was doing. I'm just honest. I did not know what I was doing, and we rebuilt the rear end, and we did not get the axles spaced right. Rear end was not pointed in the right direction in the car at all. So he goes down the track. He's like, "Man, this thing feels weird," and not in a good way. So yeah, we we need to stick to what we know. I enjoy the work though. It's fun. It's fun to just get in there and thrash. And I just had never seen the car until the weekend, and trying to find just the right size wrench and socket is a challenge because you just don't know what each bolt is.
What was the reception like when you got back home?
It was
A
good.
lot of people come to visit. I mean, what was?
Yeah, it was. We were thrashing on the car a lot, so people would come by and I could see them stay back, and I appreciated that. But once we got ready for the race and everything, I spotted for them, and so I was over on the grandstand side up in the. They had a spotter section, and people were coming up like as the racers are going on. I'm spotting, and I'm like, no, you gotta wait, like pulling the headset off one ear to, like, try to politely say like not right now, like we're side by side down into turn 3 here. Like I need to focus. I'm not a spotter. And but once Chad wasn't on the track, I just stayed around the front stretch and signed autographs for the whole time.
What about back at home, just generally speaking, even?
Yeah, it's just home. So people that I know are just great season. Let's go to lunch. It's just normal. So yeah, it's just no, not nothing too crazy. I mean, yeah, they want to talk a little bit about Martinsville and talk a little bit about the win at Coda and Talladega, but um, it's pretty normal. It's the most normal of anywhere I go for sure.
Anybody from outside of motor racing, other major sports, reach out to you? Have new friends and new fans?
Yeah, I mean, a lot on online, a lot on social media. I glanced through all that stuff and need to probably spend some more time looking back at what was posted and what people said, because when it happened, I wasn't scrolling Twitter the week of Phoenix much. Maybe could have had a little more balance of unplugging, but was just in full prep mode for Phoenix. So saw some of it, have some screenshots people sent to me, but I probably need to go look.
No invitations to throw out footballs or baseballs at games?
Yeah, and I try to say no to all that because I'm not an athlete. So,
I think a couple of wins makes you a man.
yeah, well, watch me throw a baseball, and you might take that back.
It's been about a month since then. I mean, are you still shocked with how many people are still talking about the move from Martinsville?
I'm not surprised. I woke up Monday morning after Martinsville and realized that's probably something I'm gonna talk about for the rest of my life, and I just accepted that in my mind. And to the greatest thing was that it was the step to get to Phoenix, and it gave us the opportunity to fight for a championship. And what that meant for our team is huge, and it's almost unmeasurable in my mind. But like we were and we are willing to do anything, and that goes from me in the car to our mechanics building the cars to our sales team and our hype team and everybody at Trackhouse. It was just a single moment in time that I can point to and say, look at what we're willing to do. And that's for any current employee or new employee maybe coming in to fans and friends and family that might question why we do this. I can now point to that and just give them a quick turn 3 and 4 at Martinsville, and that's what we're willing to do, and that's why we do it.
Ross, can you give me a sense of what this past year has been like? I mean, I think that just from outside in looking at your perspective,
I see the wins. I mean, winning at Coda, winning at Talladega, places that I went to as a fan, Talladega, and watched. Um, Asked Justin Marks how to turn right on road courses just a couple of years ago, and have went to school on how to do it, and have done driving schools and rented, street cars to go drive on these tracks just to try to understand the curbing and the asphalt and the runoffs and everything. And um, that's what I'm just so proud of, and it made it all worth it. The fact that we were able to do it. It's one thing to put ourselves in position and have shots, but to actually do it, we had a lot more shots to win than we did for sure, and we should have and could have won a lot more. But um, it made it all worth it. So I just take away the wins, and when I reminisce on the year and was home with some buddies, it was like just telling stories of practice at Coda, going into qualifying, going into the race strategy, and like a few key moments that let us win, and then telling the bad stories of other races that a few things went wrong or one thing went wrong and we didn't win. Well, I mean, yeah, of course, everybody's got to have their own hype team, Bob. Not sure they really are called that, but that's what I call them. I mean, Mike Metcalf, Sean Pete, and you know, that's their perks for me. I think. I mean, they make the best pit crews in the sport. Our number one team was number one pit crew on pit road, but yeah, Metcalf and Pete, they're like our in-house hype team. Yeah, let's call them cheerleaders, Bob. I really like that. I really like that. Yes.
I've never heard anybody refer to them as a hype.
Trackhouse's cheerleaders, Metcalf and Pete. I like it. Yes.
Has Justin laid out what the mission of Trackhouse and its next step is in 2023? Because this past season, you guys kind of took the sport by surprise. Now everyone knows that you guys are a factor and a power player in the European Championship. Everyone's trying to be ready for it next year. So has Justin or Ty or anyone else in the leadership group said anything about what's next for the parade team?
I don't think it changes. And I say that partly because they haven't said anything different. We sat down at Community Matters in Uptown Charlotte last year, sometime maybe in January, and all of our group leaders from competition to sales to upper management to drivers, crew chiefs, we went and sat down for breakfast, and we laid out with Sean and Curtis, a friend of the company's, and we, on big pieces of white paper on the wall, we wrote down a lot of our goals, everybody's thoughts going into the year, everybody's, what is we wrote our mission statement. We wrote a lot about what is Trackhouse, because we didn't have it actually written down. So now we've got all that on paper, and we still have it in the shop. We put it on the website, made it look a little nicer, but I don't think we're going to rewrite that. Like, we wrote what we want Trackhouse to be, and what does Trackhouse mean on paper and online, right? And where we can see it in words. And then we lived by that for the race season, and we reiterated that to everybody, all of our teammates at Trackhouse. I don't think we're going. If we go back to Community Matters, it'll be just for breakfast. That was I think we wrote that, and we're not changing. We've arrived. That wasn't just come and go. That was our arrival. This is our arrival, and now the hard part is staying and maintaining that kind of performance at this level. It's going to be really hard.
You mentioned how you mentioned kind of this before, but parity was a big thing last year, right? And teams didn't have maybe the pull that they usually do. Do you think that's going to continue on into next year, where everybody kind of is on the same playing field, or do you think the gap between the big teams and small teams is going to widen a little bit? Now teams actually have cars that can play with more.
Well, you do, but we're not testing. Like, we might have, I guess, maybe one or something. But like this time last year, we were all over the place. It was great for me because I love it, but it was not a lot of. It wasn't testing, or it wasn't an off season. This is a true off season. So I don't know. I mean, you can take the cars apart, but you can't redesign them. You can't design a new rear clip. You can't design a new But you could design a different track bar tube. You could re-weld a truck arm a different way and try to make it twist more. Like we all have the same suspension. We all have the same stuff. The same stuff goes to every team. And so yeah, we're gonna figure out ways to build a better car, build a better box by the bolt holes that we put things in, but you cannot redesign it. So we still have a lot of smart people at Trackhouse and GM, but like you're not manufacturing and designing the car anymore. You're taking what you're given, trying to understand it, and then trying to go forward. But it's still, yes, we have smart people. So do I think my car's going to handle better start of 2023 than it did at the end of 22? I hope so. It better. Like we've got to go faster, or they'll pass us. That's what's so great about this sport, is that it's just cyclical and it never ends.
When you look at your season as a whole, right, the wins and the contract, is it a movie? I mean, then the move at Martinsville, you make a run at the championship. Feels like a movie script to me. How do you look at the whole thing as a whole?
I don't think they would have made this movie. It would have been too unrealistic, and no. I mean, the video at Martinsville looks like a really bad animated CG, whatever, like fake thing that they dubbed in. Like it does not look real when I watch it. I feel like whoever made that should have made it look more real, because the car looks like it's glitching by. And yeah, I think it's beyond a movie. I don't think that it would have even seemed real if you would have pitched that in January. I don't think that I don't think that Hollywood would have bought in.
So you couldn't have imagined a year like that.
No, I mean, I know we prepared to do it, but this is the NASCAR Cup Series. This car has opened up possibilities that we've never seen before in the sport, and I'm here for it.
How did
Since
it
you
elevate
can't
your
have
popularity?
testing this year, you talked about what you did last year to learn the road courses. Are you coming down to Coda with that race club in a couple of weeks, that private stuff? Are you still doing that? Or?
I'll do whatever I can. I never plan it very well. I usually end up just calling at the last minute, but I've gotten to know the guys with Anthony at Skip Barber, and have had some talks with them. I want to do some more. It's just whether it's in a street car or whatever. I just want to go. I need to drive these places, and I hate to talk about it very publicly, because I feel like that's something I'm willing to go do. And it's not a Trans Am car. It's not it's not something super fast and very applicable at all. Like it's not even close to what we drive in the Cup cars. But just for me, just driving the tracks is so foreign to turn right on the road courses that having a real driver coach and a company like Skip Barber coach me has been a big help.
Would you ever do the Rolex?
Oh yeah, absolutely, love to. I've been trying for years. I've met with the president of IMSA. I've met with team owners. I've talked to drivers. I just can't find my way in yet. I'm not in that space. I'm not in that garage, and so I haven't found the right person yet to, either tell me how to do it or give me the opportunity. I mean, show up with sponsorship and I could go get a ride, but how do I get in as a race car driver? I haven't found that spot yet.
How do you think that Martinsville elevated your popularity in a